Welcome back, drama fans, to our channel. Today is a great day to explore the intrigues and constant upheavals of the business world in Genoa. We'll have some explosive developments to discuss concerning the legacy of the Chancellor Group and the fierce competition threatening to tear apart our beloved families. Billy's rage could terrify Lily, while Billy's threats change Lily's mind. Grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and let's analyze the impending chaos. The corporate landscape of Genoa City is currently experiencing a seismic shift of unprecedented proportions, sending massive shockwaves through the lives of its most prominent residents. Victor Newman, the undisputed titan of industry, has orchestrated a maneuver that has left the business world completely breathless. In a move that blends calculated strategy with shocking relinquishment, Victor has decided to hand the reins of Chancellor Industries back to Lily Winters. For Lily, this represents the ultimate triumph, a reclaiming of a legacy she has fought tooth and nail to protect and preserve. However, this monumental transfer of power is not merely a boardroom transaction. It is a catalyst for deep-seated resentments, reignited feuds, and a bitter struggle for dominance that threatens to destroy the fragile peace among Genoa City's elite. The sheer magnitude of this corporate earthquake is only just beginning to be felt, and the fallout promises to be absolutely devastating. Nowhere is this devastation more profoundly felt than in the turbulent heart and mind of Billy Abbott. For Billy, Chancellor Industries is not just a company. It is a birthright, a symbol of his identity, and a glaring reminder of his deepest insecurities. He has spent years coveting the Chancellor throne, viewing it as the ultimate validation of his worth in a family of overachievers. The psychological wound inflicted when his own mother, Jill Abbott, callously sold the company to Victor Newman right out from under him has never healed. It has festered, turning into a toxic brew of anger, entitlement, and relentless obsession. Watching Victor control the company was agonizing, but the current reality is somehow infinitely worse for Billy. While a small, vindictive part of him might relish the fact that Victor Newman no longer possesses the Chancellor crown, the overwhelming reality that Lily Winters is now the undisputed ruler of the empire is a bitter pill that Billy simply cannot swallow. The absolute indignity of the situation is magnified exponentially by the presence of Cane Ashby. It is one thing for Lily to hold the power, but knowing that Cane, a man Billy harbors a deep, venomous hatred for, is sitting comfortably in the executive suite is enough to push Billy to the brink of madness. Billy views Cane not as a redeemed man or a capable executive, but as an opportunistic parasite who has manipulated his way back into Lily's heart and, consequently, into the highest echelons of corporate power. The contrast between Cane's triumphant ascent and Billy's perceived stagnation is a source of immense psychological torment. Billy feels entirely emasculated, sidelined, and robbed of his destiny, forced to watch his greatest rival enjoy the spoils of a kingdom that Billy firmly believes should belong to him. This festering resentment is a ticking time bomb, and Billy's inability to let go of his grievances guarantees that an explosive confrontation is entirely unavoidable. Adding an entirely new layer of complexity to this volatile situation is the introduction of Holden Novak into the Chancellor Industries' inner circle. Lily, newly empowered and determined to build a loyal core around her, is actively bringing her newly discovered half-brother into the corporate fold. For Lily, this is a beautiful opportunity to forge a meaningful connection with Malcolm's son, blending her family legacy with her professional ambitions. She envisions a unified front, a powerhouse team where blood ties strengthen business strategies. Holden, eager to prove his worth and establish his place in Genoa City, is more than willing to step up to the plate. However, this nepotistic maneuver is not being viewed through the same rosy lens by the rest of the Winters family, sparking a fierce internal fracture that threatens to divide them irreparably. Devin Hamilton and Nate Hastings are watching Lily's decisions with mounting outrage and profound skepticism. Devin, ever the cynical and fiercely protective patriarch of his immediate circle, views Holden's sudden integration into Chancellor Industries as a blatant, opportunistic cash grab. In Devin's eyes, Holden is merely leveraging his newly discovered biological connection to Malcolm Winters to secure a lucrative position he has not earned. Nate, approaching the situation with his characteristic analytical detachment, shares Devin's deep concerns, fearing that Lily's emotional attachment to her new brother is blinding her to his potential ulterior motives. Together, Devin and Nate form a chorus of disapproval, vocalizing their harsh judgments and accusing Holden of being a grifter exploiting the Winters family name for personal gain. Lily, however, has undergone a profound transformation. She is no longer the peacekeeper willing to bend to the wills of her brothers. She is a hardened, resolute corporate titan who refuses to have her authority questioned. When confronted by Devin and Nate's bitter accusations, Lily does not cower or apologize. Instead, she fiercely defends both Cane and Holden, laying down the law with an iron fist. She makes it unequivocally clear that she is the sole architect of Chancellor Industries' future, and she will surround herself with whomever she chooses. Lily effectively orders Devon and Nate to stand down and remain silent, asserting her absolute dominance over the company and her personal life. This fierce display of independence further alienates her brothers, isolating Lily in her ivory tower alongside Cane and Holden, completely setting the stage for a massive familial war. Meanwhile, Billy Abbott, driven by a desperate, agonizing need to reclaim a piece of his lost legacy, decides to swallow his immense pride and make a humiliating gambit. Unable to stand on the outside looking in, Billy approaches Lily and Cane with a request that borders on begging. He wants a job at Chancellor Industries. For Billy, this is a monumental concession, a painful acknowledgement of his current powerlessness. He operates under the delusion that his historical ties to the company and his past relationship with Lily will somehow override his recent pattern of toxic, destructive behavior. He believes he is inherently entitled to a seat at the table, completely underestimating the depth of the resentment Lily harbors toward him. Lily's response to Billy's desperate plea is swift, decisive, and brutally unforgiving. She outright rejects him, slamming the corporate door squarely in his face. Lily has not forgotten the agonizing rift they experienced when she was involved in the deal that allowed Jill to sell the company to Victor. She vividly remembers Billy's relentless sabotage, his public temper tantrums, and his absolute refusal to support her during her most vulnerable moments. Lily coldly reminds Billy of his terrible behavior, making it abundantly clear that his toxic energy has no place in the new empire she is building with Cane. The rejection is absolute, leaving Billy completely humiliated, stripped of his dignity, and burning with an unquenchable thirst for vengeance against the woman who just denied him his birthright. Retreating to the only safe harbor he has left, Billy pours his venom out to his pregnant fiancée, Sally Spectra. In the quiet intimacy of their home, Billy unleashes a torrent of complaints, whining about the profound injustice of his situation. He paints himself as the ultimate victim, a brilliant visionary unfairly marginalized by Lily's vindictiveness and Cane's manipulation. Sally, navigating her own anxieties regarding her pregnancy, is forced to act as a sounding board for Billy's bruised ego and relentless grievances. While she attempts to offer comfort and perspective, Billy is entirely consumed by his obsession. He cannot let Chancellor go, and he refuses to accept defeat, setting his sights on finding a way to tear down the fortress Lily has built. As the sultry days of June approach, Billy's relentless, obsessive digging finally yields a discovery of catastrophic proportions. Driven by a desperate need for leverage, Billy uncovers a piece of information so explosive, so entirely damning, that it has the power to completely destroy Lily and Cane's world. Billy discovers the dark, twisted truth behind Lily's recent ascension to power. He learns that Lily did not simply outmaneuver Victor Newman, she conspired with him. Billy uncovers the horrifying reality that Lily faked her own kidnapping, orchestrating a massive, illegal deception to emotionally manipulate Cane and secure Chancellor Industries as part of a secret, Machiavellian deal with Victor. The sheer magnitude of the secret leaves Billy breathless with a dark, triumphant realization. He finally holds the ultimate weapon. Armed with the knowledge of Lily's fake kidnapping plot, Billy prepares to weaponize this explosive secret to go after exactly what he wants. He holds the nuclear launch keys, and he is more than willing to press the button. Billy's internal justification is rooted in his twisted sense of entitlement. He believes that because Lily acquired the company through fraud and manipulation, she has forfeited her right to lead it. He plans to use this devastating blackmail to force Lily's hand, threatening to expose her criminal conspiracy to the authorities, the board of directors, and the press unless she surrenders Chancellor Industries to him. The stakes are unimaginably high, and Billy is operating with the ruthless precision of a man who has absolutely nothing left to lose and everything to gain. Realizing the existential threat bearing down upon them, Lily and Cane are forced to form an impenetrable, united front to destroy Billy's blackmail attempt. The romantic and professional partnership they have been carefully rebuilding is now forged in the fires of a brutal, high-stakes war. They know that if Billy goes public, Lily could face severe federal prison time for fraud, and their entire empire will crumble into dust. Cane, fiercely protective of the woman he loves and the power they share, teams up with Lily to strategize a counteroffensive. They must find a way to neutralize Billy, discredit his information, or find a vulnerability of his own to exploit before he can detonate the truth and destroy their lives forever. Adding a massive, unpredictable element to this already volatile powder keg is the impending return of the legendary matriarch, Jill Abbott. Slated to make her highly anticipated reappearance in the peak July sweeps, with the iconic Lauren Koslow stepping into the legendary role for a crucial 5-episode arc, Jill is returning to a war zone. Jill's arrival will undoubtedly detonate the situation further. As the woman who originally sold the company to Victor, setting this entire chain of events into motion, Jill will find herself caught in the crossfire between her desperate, blackmailing son and the woman she once viewed as a daughter. Jill's legendary temper and brilliant business acumen will be tested as she attempts to intervene in this catastrophic family feud, potentially shifting the balance of power in ways no one could possibly predict. As we witness this incredible storyline unfold, it is impossible not to feel a profound, aching sense of tragedy. There is a deep, subjective sorrow in watching the beautiful, historic legacy of Katherine Chancellor be reduced to a bloody battlefield for the egos of the Abbott and Winters families. It breaks the heart to see Billy Abbott, a man with so much potential for love and goodness, allow himself to be entirely consumed by a toxic, self-destructive obsession over a leather chair and a corporate nameplate. The genuine emotional weight of seeing Lily, a woman who once embodied grace and forgiveness, harden her heart and resort to criminal deception simply to hold on to power is deeply unsettling. We are witnessing the tragic unspooling of familial bonds, a devastating portrait of how unbridled greed and the desperate need for validation can corrupt the soul and turn loved ones into ruthless, unrecognizable monsters. With the battle lines drawn and the ultimate blackmail weapon loaded, the entire future of Chancellor Industries hangs in a terrifying balance. Will Billy Abbott pull the trigger and expose Lily's darkest, most criminal secret to the world, claiming his perceived birthright in the ashes of her destruction? Or will Lily and Cane find a way to silence him, proving that their ruthless alliance is strong enough to withstand the ultimate threat?